the second episode begins with Ju-won, Raejum, and Sanha taking the bus to school. Ju-won is anxious because she's often approached by girls who want her to deliver letters and gifts to her brothers, Raejum and Sanha. They always question whether Ju-won is really their sister since they have different last names. Raejum, always bold, teaches Ju-won how to stand up to these girls, while Sanha, being more level-headed, advises her to talk to a teacher instead of getting into trouble. Raejum, however, prefers her to act unpredictably to confuse them. At school, two girls ask Ju-won to deliver gifts to her brothers again. This time, Ju-won is ready and demands that they sign a paper stating they won't pressure her to be a middleman anymore. Frustrated, the girls accuse Ju-won of not being their real sister and imply that she has feelings for Raejum and Sanha. In a fit of anger, one of the girls pushes Ju-won to the ground. Remembering Raejum's advice, Ju-won gets up and, in a bold move, grabs one of the girl's arms and runs toward the lake. However, she trips and falls into the water by herself. When she climbs out, she pretends she was bullied, which catches the attention of Raejum and Sanha, who quickly arrive. Raejum immediately takes off his shirt to help dry her off, while Sanha puts his jacket on her and confronts the bullies before leading Ju-won away. On the bus ride back home, some people complain about Ju-won's smell, but Raejum and Sanha stand up for her protectively. As they get off the bus, it starts to rain, and the three of them run together, showing their close bond. Later, they stop at a shop, and the neighbors make comments about Raejum's mother and how unhappy the kids seem. Ju-won firmly responds that they are special and that every family has its own story. During dinner, Ju-won brings up the topic of adoption again, trying to push away the neighbors' negative comments. Sanha, on the other hand, rejects a call from his grandmother, which visibly upsets him. His father, Dae-wook, decides to take the call. Sanha becomes visibly sad and uncomfortable, retreating to his room. Ju-won gets annoyed by the call from his grandmother. It seems that Sanha's mother has remarried into a wealthy family, and now he has a new sister who has everything. Dae-wook ends the call and returns to the table, where everyone is already frustrated. Jumji complains to Dae-wook about answering his ex-mother-in-law's call, accusing her of constantly bragging about her new family. Later, Ju-won and Raejum bring snacks to Sanha while he's studying in his room. He shoos them out, telling them they should be studying too. However, he reassures them, saying he's fine and that he'll enjoy the snacks later. Raejum notices that Ju-won called Sanha Appa, a term for older brothers, and teases her for never calling him that. The next day, Sanha meets with his school advisor, who encourages him to apply to a medical school in Seoul. However, Sanha wants to stay close to home and argues that the quality of doctors doesn't depend on the school they attended, which disappoints the advisor. Meanwhile, Ju-won learns about rumors at school that Sanha is dating a classmate, Wi-ju. Upset, she confronts him, accusing him of keeping it a secret. Ju-won says that if they were a real family, he would have told her. This argument makes Sanha react, reminding her that an adoption paper doesn't change the fact that they don't share the same blood. Ju-won is on the verge of tears, but he irritably advises her to cry somewhere private if she wants to. Meanwhile, Raejum continues practicing basketball at school. He notices a man taking pictures of him and chases him down. Although Raejum catches up to the man, he escapes, leaving the camera behind. Raejum discovers several pictures of himself and wonders if it might be related to his mother. His friend suggests that the man might have been sent by her, but Raejum dismisses it, thinking it's just a scout from another basketball team. Raejum's aunt shows up at an awkward moment, bringing gifts to compensate Jumji for raising Raejum. She refuses the money Raejum offers for a taxi, telling him that he should be grateful to Jumji and, one day, pay it all back. During dinner, Raejum looks at Jumji with admiration, while Ju-won stays silent and upset. Sanha tries to explain that Ju-won is angry because of him, as they argued earlier. Jumji scolds Ju-won, reminding her that Sanha is always kind. This makes Ju-won even more upset, and she storms off to her room. Sanha follows and apologizes, explaining that he isn't dating anyone. He reveals that the girl involved in the rumors is actually Raejum's ex-girlfriend, which calms Ju-won down. The next morning, Sanha tells Raejum that Ju-won now knows about his past relationship with Wi-ju. Raejum panics and asks if he also told her they had already broken up. Wi-ju appears at that moment, wanting to get back together with Raejum, explaining that she broke up with him in hopes of starting something with Sanha. Now that it didn't work out, she wants to reunite with Raejum. He declines, determined not to hurt Ju-won now that she knows everything. Later, Huiju asks Ju-won for a talk. Ju-won tries to comfort her, thinking that Raejum had broken up with her. But when she finds out it was actually Raejum who got dumped, she gets angry at Huiju. Huiju then says that Ju-won isn't Raejum's real sister, so she should stop causing trouble. Ju-won replies that they don't need paperwork to prove their family. She walks away, but Huiju follows her, trips, and then pretends that Ju-won pushed her. People around them start bad-mouthing Ju-won, but her friend Dal steps in to defend her. Raejum arrives and tries to take Huiju to the nurse's office, but she insists that Ju-won must apologize. Pressured by the gossip, Raejum asks Ju-won to apologize, which infuriates her. Sanha arrives and asks Ju-won if she really pushed Huiju. When Ju-won denies it, Sanha immediately takes her side, warning everyone that spreading rumors and intimidating others is a form of school violence. Ju-won gets even more upset with Raejum for suggesting she should apologize. Later, on the home rooftop, Raejum tries to make it up to Ju-won by surprising her with a cake, which finally calms her down. The next day, Ju-won thanks Dal for standing up for her and gives her some snacks. Dal takes the opportunity to ask Ju-won to take her to Raejum's basketball game. Ju-won realizes what her friend is up to and asks her to think it through. Meanwhile, Raejum finds out that the man who took his photos is a private investigator. He starts to believe that his mother might be trying to find him. Suddenly, he sees a woman who looks like his mother and runs toward her, calling out, but realizes she's a stranger. Dal witnesses the entire scene, and Raejum approaches her to find out what she saw. He treats her to dinner, noticing how nervous she is. He asks her to pretend she didn't see anything, warning her that if she tells Ju-won, he'll be really mad at her. Ju-won seems to approve of her friend's feelings for Raejum. The episode ends with a strange man arriving in a flashy car, holding a picture of Raejum and searching for him among the boys. He approaches Raejum, claiming to be his father. If you liked this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more series summaries.